Hi, I'm Cecilia Chang, Associate Professor of Chinese in in the Department of Asian Studies. I teach courses of Mandarin Chinese as well as a applied linguistic course on teaching and learning Chinese as a second language. In the Chinese program, we offer 4 levels of Mandarin Chinese, and over the years I have taught all 4 levels. So in this video, I would like to share with you my teaching philosophy for my teaching, as well as for curriculum design, and some things about what we do specifically to realize our curriculum objectives. So unlike traditional grammar translation method in teaching foreign language, we see ourselves as teachers, our duties to be helping our students develop the communicative competence in using the language to communicate with Chinese people. So communication is really our ultimate goal. So how do we realize that goal? In terms of teaching materials, we in lower levels we use short but high frequency dialogues, such as asking for directions, buying food, introducing yourselves to new friends, things like this. They happen frequently in daily life, and so students can easily see the usefulness of these dialogues, and then that gives them a real sense of learning, a true sense, a true purpose of learning. In higher level courses, we use topics of contemporary social issues or phenomena, and students find them very interesting for discussion. So you can see that we take a communicative approach to our teaching. To that end, we really want to emphasize both on the importance of linguistic knowledge, as well as the awareness of using the language in culturally appropriate ways. So for example, it is important for the students to know how to respond to praises, when Chinese people pay them compliments, and how to respond to these praises so as not to appear arrogant. Or things like what do you say and how do you act when you exchange business cards with Chinese business people. In that case, you will be receiving the business cards with both of your hands, and then you look at them very carefully for a few seconds before you put them away. This is to show them that you are really you really care about them and about who they are, about what they represent. So things like this, it's part of their communicative competence. And another side of the communicative competence is that you have to communicate with other people, with accuracy. So we emphasize accuracy as well. For accuracy, I mean pronunciation, good grammar control. So we use a lot of drilling techniques in the classroom, to develop that accuracy. So in lower level courses, students are often required to memorize a portion of the text, and then they will have to memorize the text, and they will have to perform the lines in front of the entire class. So under these circumstances, you can see how students may, often feel nervous, and their affective filters can be very, very high. So this leads to my next topic, which I personally hold very dear to my heart, which is, how to reduce their level of anxiety, and especially, how to build their confidence that they can learn the language well. So, I like to talk a few things about that. Well, first of all, I keep in mind that Chinese 101, for many students, Chinese 101 can be a life-altering experience, and for that matter, any introductory course. I have so many students in the past who came to Williams, thinking that they will be majoring in different subjects, in religion or art history or whatever. And then when they took Chinese, out of curiosity or, just because, it's a very different language, after that, their life has been changed forever. And a lot of students, their career orientation totally changed because of that. So I keep that in mind, so that I will strive to provide the best learning experience for my students. And then I deeply believe that students progress at their own paces. So some students may be slow in the beginning, but if they persist, they will really they can become very good, and they have great hope to become very good at the language. And I have this student in the past. I always tell this story to my first year student. So this student did poorly in Chinese 101, 102, and to the extent, most of us thought, perhaps she should not continue with Chinese. It's just, too difficult for her. So we suggested this to her, and she considered it, but she realized she really liked it, and she wanted to continue. And over the summer, between first year and second year Chinese, something happened. Some just clicked, or the materials she studied in first year Chinese started to sink in. Whatever it may be, she became better and better in second year, and she continued, and she went on to complete the entire program, and eventually got a scholarship from the Taiwanese government. And she spent probably more than 10 years in Asia. And last time I heard, she was still in Hong Kong enjoying her life there. So, I always tell students, things may click at different time for different people. So if they find things to be difficult initially, they have to be patient with themselves and just try their best. And things will eventually will click, and they will find it more comfortable with the learning. I also make it my job, sort of, to remember the names of all my students by the second or the third class. We offer multiple sections for all of our language courses. So, the number of students in each section it's not that big. So it's not difficult to do, but, I think remembering their names is so important, because I find it a very effective way to establish this personal relationship with my students. And once you know their names, I think the dynamics just change totally. Um, and last thing I do is, I think it's easily understandable that students make mistakes and they get embarrassed. So, I know initially it's very natural for students to learn tons of mistakes and sometimes very funny mistakes when they learn a foreign language. So I tell them that. I tell them, it's natural to make mistakes. So when you do, just laugh it out loud. Okay? So other people will laugh with you and not laugh at you. And sometimes when they make a mistake, and I tell them, if I laugh when you make a mistake, just know that I am amused by the mistakes and I'm not laughing at you. So I think these things work really well so far, and students seem to feel that when they come to Chinese 101, 102, or Chinese courses in general, it's fine for them to make mistakes. But they will strive not to make the same mistakes over and over again. And I think some of the students make their best friends when they take Chinese classes, and they support each other not only in the classroom but also outside of the classroom. They will make agreement among themselves only to speak Chinese when they see each other. So I think a nurturing, a supportive environment for them is something I find one of the most important things for me to do, if not the most important thing. So I think this is it.